to rally my units. Like when you make a hatchery, you know, obviously you set your drone rally and then you set your unit rally. So I have that habit sometimes when I play Protoss that I double click, and then all my probes end up going like to the middle of the map doing absolutely nothing.
Oh man, I know that feel too.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah. Would you like
Do
to
you,
take it away? Or shall I?
oh, I'll do it. That's fine. I'll do
Alrighty.
it. Spawning in the top left, taken from the very man himself, Charlie Sheen. He was able to win the first game, but he's now brought into a tied series as he was not able to pull the second game off. Can he pull the third game off, though? He is the green Protoss winning. And I had to say that as close as I could to the Charlie Sheen. I'm sorry, I always make that connection.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, he kind of embedded it in all of our brains now.
I know, right? Now the blue player in the top right, his opponent, who has now brought this series to a tie. He is 1-1 right now after losing the first game, but coming back in the second game with a very powerful Ling Muta push. Can he pull it off in game number 3? He is the blue Zerg, Russeli.
Alright, fantastic job, my friend. So, we got our PVZ on Star Station, the map. And this was picked... Was this not picked by winning? I feel like this is a map that is so hard for Protoss to get their third on. But it looks like it was picked by winning, and maybe he has some kind of strategy lined up for us.
Well, this map as a whole is difficult to get your third and keep your third, as really any race, as I pointed out the last
Even
time
for
we
Zerg,
had it.
yeah.
Yeah, but going into this, I mean, if we look at the play style that winning has had over the past few games, we can see that he not at one point has gone for that third. He really has been going for that one base or two base kind of pressure, which is probably the reason why he chose this map. It is a map that it is difficult to get that third up, and the third is what we see Russeli go for every single game. So that's going to allow winning to get that position on Russeli to where he can deny that third or maybe even destroy the third after it goes up already. And he's not going to be too hindered because he's already used to not playing on three bases.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if he's going to decide to switch up his play or pretty much stay with the tried and true gateway, the 4 gates into Stargate that he loves to do. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to find out very soon as Russeli is actually doing the same exact opening, 15 hatch into a 4, maybe a 15 pool. So he's going to get his hatchery up, but oh, whoa, a little deviant. He's actually deviating from what he usually does and is going to go put down a Roach Warren and get gas right now.
Oh man, we saw this in the last series with Killjoy doing this early Roach push. Yep, same exact map, you're right. But, you know, is it going to work out for Russeli a little better? I really kind of hope so, because this is a very powerful push against Protoss. So if it doesn't work out a little bit better, I feel like then it wasn't quite done right.
Yeah, so this first Zealot is actually going to head right over to the base of Russeli. And that's a pretty good move, I would say, especially if the Zerg would like to get a little more greedy and make a lot of drones. But what I've noticed from Russeli is that he's made 6 Lings in the beginning of every game. But this game is only going to opt to make 2. So a little bit interesting. Maybe he does plan to do attack with the Roaches. But with these 4 gates that usually do come out from winning, I feel like he's going to have the units to defend against anything. So it's not like winning is going for some kind of aggressive build. Or economic build, rather. It's actually a build that focuses on units. So any type of early Roach pressure, unless it came about now, I feel like he should be able to hold off if he does go for his same kind of play. But we do see that he is not.
Well, the Roach Warren has finished up and 2 Evo chambers going down here, so it looks like Russeli wanting to get that 1-1 really early. He is getting the ranged attacks upgrade for the Roaches here, as some Roaches are coming out, just 2, not too many. But that number will definitely grow over time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering though, winning, he didn't get the 4 gates first, right? He ended up getting the Stargate, and if Russeli is going to open up with Roaches, this is probably the best opening that winning can possibly do. And he's not even going to get an Oracle this time, he's actually going for the Void Ray. So this is pretty cool on his part. Maybe he's going to try to expand off of this, but I think this Overlord is not in range. He cannot see the Stargate. So let's see what kind of damage this Void Ray can do.
both players completely switching it up, and we're gonna have to see how this turns out. I mean, we have two spines going down for Russeli. He's definitely probably expecting the exact same thing that he saw last game. He says, "Hey, I don't have my third, and I only have my natural." He's probably gonna push out with that Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core push that he did the last two games.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get down the spines for a little more safety. But he doesn't know about the Void Rays.
Yeah, that Void Ray was actually in range of that Overlord. So if Russeli was looking at his minimap, he would be well aware that there are Void Rays on the way. So I don't think he was, because there is really no reaction here. I don't think he's going to go for his double Spire build because he is gas starved getting those upgrades for the Roaches. But if Winning doesn't have that many units at home, even if a Void Ray comes, you know, that Mondragon style, just make a bunch of Roaches to counter air, he can actually counterattack and do a ton of damage, especially if Winning decides to expand.
Well, it does look like he is trying to get that expansion up a lot earlier rather than he used to. The last two games, he waited a little while until after a push, but now he's getting that Forge down into a position. He's starting to wall off his natural, so we might see that Nexus go down at any moment. He has the minerals for it now. He really should go for it.
Yeah, it's very interesting what just happened. The Overlord that was to the top right of Winning's base just scouted the Void Rays, but they actually both charged up and used their prismatic alignment just to kill it. So it's actually on cooldown. If he did decide to do an attack right now or had to defend, it actually wouldn't be up, but it looks like it's going to be up pretty shortly. But I do like the fact that he is going for an expansion. I would love to see an attack though, something to at least pressure or do make Russeli react, rather than just make a bunch of drones.
Well, now it does look like Russeli is going to start pushing out here with these Roaches.
And
I don't agree with this. No, I don't.
The Void Rays are going to have the prismatic alignment up. The Nexus is about halfway done. I don't even think the Roaches will have enough time to do any economic damage. They may get a cancel on the Nexus, but it looks like he's going to turn right away. And if Winning should actually take those Void Rays and chase them down, because there really is no answer.
And it looks like Russeli was really just trying to do that to secure his third, but after seeing the Void Rays, he pulled that drone back, and he's actually going to grab his third at a different location this time.
Was he going for the closer third?
He was going for the closer third at first there, but he decided, hey, I don't want to be in range of all of that army. I don't want to be anywhere near it, so...
Yeah. Oh, but it does look like Winning is going to go stage an attack right now. And there is a proxy pylon right below. I don't think it's in range of the Zelnaga tower. These Roaches do see the units going across the map. And this is, would be dangerous territory if the Mothership Core didn't have energy, but these Void Rays are going to do work. The prismatic alignment most likely will be going off now. Only one of them is actually going to be using it. I would like to see him actually move his ground units away as the Void Rays kill the Roaches, because the Void Rays have no, the Roaches have no answer to attacking these Void Rays. So he could have kept all those ground units and still had the Void Rays.
I don't agree with this one gate. He needs more gates if he's going to be doing this.
Oh yeah, he only has one gate. Russeli actually got a Roach Hydra, so he has 4 Hydralisks. But I don't know. Although Hydralisks do very well against Void Rays, I don't think that it's enough to... Okay, so he decides to recall. I was going to say, I don't think the Void Rays are actually... I mean, the Hydras are enough, because there's only 6 of them out. But he did recall. I don't think the recall was really necessary. He could have walked back home, but he did want to see that cool animation, I guess.
Hey, man. Why not?
Why not? So, but this is good. This is good on Winning's part. The last games that we've seen from him, we've noticed that he did not get his expansion until very, very late in the game, and he made 4 gates that didn't really do any damage with. So he did see the... I don't know if he saw the Hydralist, but he did decide to drop down the Robotics Bay, which is a really good follow-up for any type of Roach opening, as long as he doesn't do some crazy Spire tech or Spire transition. But I think he's going to be just okay if he's able to saturate his natural and get these Colossus out.
He's getting out a Ward Prism here out of his Robo, which is it's a little interesting. I mean, there's a few things he could do with this. He could be doing some kind of drop play against Russeli, or he could be using it as a mobile forward pylon. I'm not quite sure, but I would be excited if he decides to use one of these Colossus for a drop.
Yeah, that'd be actually really cool to see. The units of Russeli are really out of position, but he does have 3 Spore Crawlers, although they are on the forward and in front of the base rather than behind it. I would like to see Winning be a little bit more aggressive with his Void Rays. You know, maybe going around the map, killing Overlords, or just kind of poking in to scout and see what's going on in Russeli's base. But it looks like Russeli's going to go for the Roach Hydra composition. He is already at 2-2, and I don't even think Winning has +1 on anything yet. So he has the Forge, decides not to go for the upgrades though. It's just for the cannon, for the defense. And they are in front of the Forge rather than behind it, so they're pretty exposed to any kind of attack.
Now we do have the extended thermal lance coming out here and some Colossus being made for Winning. We have a Warp Prism. Well, the Warp Prism that I was mentioning earlier, it is making its way across the map right now. So it looks like he just wants to warp in, maybe some Zealots with it, and nothing really more than that. We don't see much more production of Void Rays. Maybe coming up here soon. I did see that he did select that Stargate there for a second, but he's not looking like he's wanting to do much with it. Well, meanwhile, on the other side here, Russeli completely getting ready for Void Rays. He's got a lot of spores up in his bases. He's got the Hydras split up. He's got some of them in his main. He's got some of them with his army. And his third is completely open, but I really feel like he's overreacted completely to the Void Rays.
Yeah, definitely. The Hydralisks are really, really good against these gateway units, but as soon as these Colossus do come out, we might see a little bit of a difference and a change in composition from Russeli. But he's not really going for his Hive. I think the only thing he would really add to this composition would either be Swarm Hosts, which he does have the Infestation Pit out for, or for the Vipers, you know, in order to abduct the Colossus and snipe them down with the Roach Hydra. But, it looks like there's going to be an attack stage on the front of Winning's base. And I think he's going to be just perfectly fine. With the 2 Colossus, a bunch of those Void Rays, and the Photon Overcharge, he should be okay. But it doesn't look like Russeli is going to go for that attack. The Harvester count, though, is 47 to 44 in our Protoss players' favor. So that's I think that's a first for this series, actually.
It is indeed a first for this series, and actually, going into this, I mean, we did see that Russeli did take out the Warp Prism as well as the forward pylon. Supply blocking Winning just a little bit, so he wasn't able to keep production of stuff. But now he is going to put down 3 more gateways, which is exactly what it needs. Actually, 4 more gateways,
Yeah,
which is
is
exactly what it needs. Oh no, but the probe is trapped.
Oh, look at that, the life of a probe, huh? You had one job. He did complete his mission, though. Did you know he didn't even get the last gate out? You fail, probe. I'm sorry.
That's
whoa!
The
big attack got the natural, and whoa, Winning is actually not hiding behind the comfort of his base. He's just gonna sit here and let Russeli get the sickest concave of all time, and everything is gonna go down. That was the biggest misstep. Oh no, he wasn't even in range of the cannons. He just stepped out. He could have actually used the Mothership Core to get the Photon Overcharge up and at least get a nice little concave while the Roaches and Hydras had to squeeze in the middle, but he just gave Russeli the most incredible position.
Russeli needs to move the rest of his army in. He could snipe out this natural, but no, it looks like he's going to go after the probes instead, try and draw out that army a little bit. The Colossus is going to be very difficult for him to deal with there as he doesn't quite have vision of it. There it goes. The Colossus is going to fall here. The warp gates are being morphed, but I don't think it's enough. It's a little, too late, as this army is now inside the main, dealing heavy damage.
Yeah, and it must hurt so much to have 3,720 minerals and being, you know, getting ready to actually get your macro up by putting those gates up, and before it even is able to kick in, Russeli comes in with the Roaches and Hydras and takes game number 3 in this best of 3 series. So now Russeli will advance to the round of 4, not the Elite 4, but I'm surprised that Invicta didn't name it the Elite 4 to try to do the Pokemon reference, but the Elite 8, the Final 4 is the basketball reference, just as equally good. And incredible. That misstep though from Russeli, oh no, it just hurts. He must be kicking himself for that.
I'm telling you, if he was able to stay back in his natural and was able to turn his Nexus into that cannon that is so nice for Protoss to have, plus the cannons he had, plus the wall to limit the movement of the Zerg, I mean, he really would have been able to hold that off. But moving out like that completely lost his army. He was not able to hold that attack, and that was just such a powerful push.
Yeah, oof. It was a powerful push indeed. The lack of sentries also is something to note for Winning, that he wasn't able to zone. Although Russeli did get that sick concave, a few sentries would be able to kind of zone them out, but oof, it just was a series of unfortunate events, for lack of a better term.